Okay, so hello and welcome to episode 45 of the video show, and today we've got a guest in the form of Arwin Bailey.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me on. It's great to be here.
Cool. And we're going to play the theme tune now. This is the video show. Get your questions answered by using the hashtag #TheVideoShow. So, Arwin, tell us a little bit about you. I know you're a photographer, but yeah, how did you get into that?
Okay, I was given a box camera when I was 4 or 5 years old by my grandmother, and my father developed his own slides. I had a dark room when I was a kid with my brother, and then I went to art college and I carried it on from there. And really, I've always been taking photographs as well, so that's how I got into it.
Those box cameras, these are old-fashioned cameras.
Yeah, old-fashioned. It's got a film, and you literally hold it that way for portraiture, hold it that way for landscape. You look through, you go click. That's it. No settings, nothing.
No, so you can't. Yeah, it's weird to think now that you can sort of see how the photo looks before.
Yeah. You can go click. You can see it on your mobile phone, on a camera, whatever. It's absolutely incredible that in 40 odd 50 years, how we've gone from film. In a very crude way through to digital, and I've even got some cameras which are like 200 years old, and that isn't a long time really. No. I'm not that old, but it isn't a long time when you consider, and they were plate cameras where you put a plate in there. So it's amazing the technology, the way it's changed.
Yeah, it's going to change even more in the next probably 5 years.
Absolutely, who knows where it's going to go.
Yeah, cool. So how did you set up in terms of setting up into a business, from like a passion to into a business?
Okay, I had a bit of a traumatic year in 2012. I'll explain another time. You can see that on my website. But basically, I thought, okay, what I'm going to do is buy what's called a full frame format camera, which is a professional camera, and just set up. And I started taking photographs of friends, family, people like that in a studio. I'm renting a studio. Then the opportunity came soon after that. After about 9 months of running a studio. So I just took over a studio, spent a shitload of money on lights and things like that, and set up a really professional setup so that we can go out on location or we can shoot in the studio. And that's how I really started it.
Yeah. So what was it about helping sort of businesses? What was it that made you want to help businesses in terms of that? What did you think you could bring to the table?
Okay. When I look on LinkedIn or any social media, I see these businesses with their profile picture, and it's either non-existent or it's one taken and there's a plant pot coming out their head, or there's jumbled in the background, whatever, anything like that, and they looked really, really bad. Yeah. And for me, if I'm looking to do business with somebody and they're professional, and I go on LinkedIn and I scroll down, there's no photograph there, I won't even go any further.
I'm the same, and for me, this applies to people watching as well, because I know people who are watching this are guilty of this. Their LinkedIn profile picture is 10, 15 years old, and then you go to meet these people and you're looking around the room and you're like, is that them? It kind of looks like them. So people like that really annoys me.
Yeah, it really annoys me as well. You know, I get fatter, I get older, I get bolder, but...
Everyone does. Everyone does.
Yeah.
Don't get hung up on it.
No, that's right. I agree entirely on that. And just be honest, really, because being in business is about being honest, and your profile picture should reflect you, who you are, your personality, and your business and what you're about, really. And what I would say is, everybody hates their photograph. Well, majority of people hate their photograph being taken. I do. Which is partly why I'm a photographer, because at all family events, there's hardly any pictures of me.
At family events, when I get my photo taken, my eyebrow just goes... like,
and it looks weird.
Posing,
so it's really weird. Yeah. So everybody though is photogenic if they don't know their photo's being taken. There's grab shots when I'm doing a wedding across the room. People don't know the photo's being taken. Kids, picking the nose or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's natural. I love that.
Natural grab shots. Okay. So the art of being a photographer with regards to the corporate world is actually getting people to relax enough for you to get those shots that they're pleased with. And I feel I can do that because there's ways of getting people to pose, round face, triangular face, fat, thin, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, there's ways of doing that, and there are ways of relaxing people. One of my favourite ways is I just say to people, "Do you know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?"
Okay.
And I say, "Sing it to me," and they start singing, and then they start laughing, and you're getting it when the mouth is open. So sometimes you get it weird and all the rest of it, but there's going to be a shot in there, and this is one of the advantages of digital. As opposed to film, is you can keep going until you actually get that shot.
Yeah.
So the ways of relaxing people and so on. So that's what I bring to the corporate world, really.
Yes, like you mentioned, like you can take photo. Like overall, the cost of shooting must be like a lot lower than shooting on film.
The cost in equipment and material is a lot lower. However, the cost in time is more.
Yeah.
Because you have to look at more frames.
Yeah.
You have to look at more images. You know, it used to be you take a shot of say 10, you're developing them, you go, that's the one, and then you print it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the material is is more expensive than film. It used to be, but the cost in time is a far greater length with digital. The cost of the cameras is exactly the same. I was looking at the other day for my blog, a 1.2 megapixel camera, I think that was the first one that came out, of a digital SLR, is the same cost as a digital SLR for a professional today. There's actually no difference in cost. So the cost hasn't changed of getting the kit and becoming a pro. It's exactly the same. It's the time involved, it's different, and it's longer processing time for digital because you've got to go through more and so on. And also the shoot is longer because you'd only do 10 shots, say, for a headshot on film. Now I might be trying to relax somebody for an hour or more and saying relax and all right, chatting to them. So the process is longer.
Okay.
And time is money.
Something else that also that I think about when I think about photographers is there's a lot of people that either want to do it themselves or people that get a camera, professional camera, and they suddenly think they're a photographer.
Yeah, everybody's a photographer.
What's the sort of the difference between you and those guys? So what should people consider when they're thinking, should I do it myself? Should I go with my mate who's got this brand new camera that's really good, or should I go with a professional? What should they be considering?
You can have the best camera in the world and you'll still take crap photos, okay? You can have the worst camera in the world and take really good photos.
Yeah.
It's actually not the equipment that makes a good photographer. It's actually what you do with that equipment. Yeah. It's like anything, Formula One, we see them racing around a track, two people in the same car, Rosberg, Hamilton, one's faster than the other, one's better than the other, okay? It's exactly the same with anything in life. You can have exactly the same camera. I liken it to, I did a blog on this as well, the Great British Bake Off. Okay. You've got a recipe.
Yeah.
That baker, Paul Hollywood, whatever his name is, got a recipe.
Yeah.
You cook it, they cook it, which is going to be better? You've got the same oven, same everything. Or on Great British Bake Off, the follow-up thing where Joe Brand hosts it, so on. People send in their pictures of failures. Now those people have stuck to the same recipe, decent oven. They're still using flour, eggs, milk, whatever, but they look atrocious and they taste horrible. And it's exactly the same sort of thing with photography. You can have exactly the same camera in two hands, okay, but it will look entirely different. So point number one is framing. How you frame somebody or frame a picture. That's really important. How you get somebody to pose is another one. Lighting is key. To me, lighting is absolutely key. So for some people, headshots will take it against a black background with smoke machine because they want something a bit mysterious. And my own profile shot because I call myself a time lord. Others are bright white, what's called high key. Others half light, others sitting down, and so on. So it's framing, it's light, and it's knowing how to use those as well. Now this can be done with an iPhone or smartphone, okay? But you've got to know how to use it. So it's not the equipment, it's actually having a mindset of how to create the situation, that lighting, etc., etc. That's the most important thing.
So what is the difference between, like in terms of business, what would help make that decision? how would a really professional photo help against something that's just so much
I find it hard to think that anybody with an iPhone can take a selfie and see what they're taking. That's point number one. You need a third party. You need somebody else to actually be pressing the trigger.
Yeah.
Okay, that's number one. And the other thing is experience of, as I've said, really getting people to relax, getting people to pose, and the lighting, and that's what is the difference. You know, it's quite well lit here with lights and all the rest of it. If you're in your own office, dark background, it's fluorescent lights. It's not bright enough. You come out dark. The background's dark. When you show up against it and stuff like that,
even if it's a slight bad impression, it's a slight bad impression against your business.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And you also mentioned you call yourself a Time Lord.
Yeah.
And, like, when I first met you, I walked into the room and it's like this get up.
Yeah.
What is behind that? What is the thinking behind that?
It was something that came to me earlier this year, and I just thought I need to develop a brand. I'm on a sort of business course, if you like, and it was all about branding and your USP and what is your unique selling proposition or point. And I started thinking about it one day, and I thought, hang on a minute, it's to do with time. I capture moments in time through photography. You do through video. Yeah. So I thought, Time Lord, Time Lord. Okay. And then the other day I was speaking to somebody, and this is something since we met that I've developed via Skype, and she came up with, just by accident, visual arts doctor. So I now go by the fact I'm a visual arts doctor and Time Lord. Okay. And so I go around dressing like this and so on. And it's really useful at networking, professional networking, meeting people, etc. Or even walking down the street. And I do a follow-up phone call with them, and I say, "Hi, it's Arwin, the Time Lord here," and they remember me
straight away.
They know who I am. Okay, and so it's a memory hook, it's a brand, it's a selling point, and so on. I don't go round at home like this. As soon as I get home, I normally put on my gym jams. To be honest, I want to get out of it, but it's working and it's memorable and it's quirky, and that's me.
Yeah, as people remember who you are, and like as you said, you call someone up and like, oh yeah, I know who you are.
That's right.
Yeah, cool. So thank you, Arwin, for coming along to the video.
Thanks very much, Mark.
Remember to take a look at how can people take a look and find out who you are?
They can follow me on Instagram, Arwin Bailey. Search for me on social media, Arwin Bailey. Arwin is ARWYN, and then Bailey, BAILEY. Just search for me there. You'll find me. My own website, arwinbailey.com, and there are other websites I run as well.
Cool.
So.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cool. And remember, if you've got any questions for future episodes of the video show, use the hashtag the video show and tweet us at Redbook Films.